In the context of managing your business's finance, in terms of understanding where the nuggets of profitability lie, in understanding where those resources are being allocated, it's vital that we actually adopt a system of what I call project tracking. Tracking what you're doing in business terms by the nature of either your individual projects, products, or services, grouping for want of a better term. In this week's video, I'm going to explain the concept of tracking by category, what benefit that brings us to our businesses, and the power that it can release in maximizing the resource allocation, as well as making profits and understanding where our energies are best served. Hi folks, welcome to another weekly episode on I Hate Numbers. My name is Mahmood. I'm a business finance fixer, accountant and author of the book I Hate Numbers. Also happens to be the name of the firm that I founded nearly 30 years ago. Let's crack on with the video. Now, the whole idea about tracking and looking at financial activity and finances through categories is a very powerful one. Let me introduce you to this simple concept. Now, a lot of business owners, unfortunately, still rely on their performance by looking at their annual financial statements and looking at things in aggregate. So if you have a situation where you've generated, let's say, £100,000 per annum, you've got costs in relation to that of £60,000, you've generated an overall profit of £40,000. Now, within that £40,000, there could be some highs and some lows. Now, if we think in terms of a business, and we can learn a lot from the world of arts and social enterprise organisations who do this quite actively, if we dive deeper and think about the different products and services that we provide, it can be made up typically of a number of different streams. So if we imagine a supermarket which looks at what comes through the till, the source of that income has come from a variety of products, thousands of them, and each one has got a different price point, and each product has a different level of profitability. Each product that is sold also requires different levels of resources in order to get that from the display into the customer's shopping basket and therefore. And it's the same with businesses. So if you run a business like my own, for example, we would offer a variety of different services. There could be that individual tax advice, there could be preferential financial accounts, there could be one-to-one coaching, there could be also digitizing your company's finances so you can enter the world of cloud. It could be a whole wide range of things. It could be access to our subscription software. I digress slightly. Now, if we look at that, there are different revenue streams, different costs attached to each one, different levels of resources here. So for me to keep an eye on what's going on in my business, I divide what I offer to my thousands of customers over the years into those groups. I can then track, using the power of digital and cloud accounting, what the revenue is that I generate by each of those groups, the costs associated with each of those groups, and that tells me the profitability, where those resources are being allocated, so I can see what the good services are and what the not such good services are, which might be more challenging. And it doesn't mean I'm necessarily going to drop those services which consume a lot of resources, don't generate a lot of value. There could be good commercial reasons for doing that. Now, transfer that idea to your own company. So if you're a service-based organisation, let's take the example of perhaps a coaching firm. You know, a coaching firm may be offering group packages. It may offer one-to-one work. It could offer training courses. Now, if we look at that and we track what income we're generating by each of those sources, allocate the costs and resources for them, we know what level of profitability is being generated. If we imagine a theatre company, it could do likewise. It may have outreach work, it may be running workshops, it has performances. And if it's tracking at that level, the level of income that's being generated, the level of costs, it can work out this profit. Now, the world of arts and social enterprises, by the way, we can learn a lot in the private sector because typically they will be very used to tracking income and expenses by project. They have to do that to account to the funder there. Therefore, that technique is very widely adopted and used. but it's something that we can adopt also in the commercial sector as well. I should say, by the way, I have worked in the arts and social enterprise space for good and nearly 40 years. So when I say we can learn, I'm fortunate that I cross both sectors. But a bit of a digression there. We'll come back to a business that perhaps might be a product-based business. It might look at the different products it does and groups them. Just like the supermarket has standards of products. For convenience sake, it might group that into household products, dairy products, wine and beverages, and it then groups them, and all the income that comes in, it can allocate accordingly to those different groups, and it can work out the profitability. Going under the bonnet gives us much more insightful information as well. And if you think about how do I actually do that, I alluded to it at the beginning of the video. The power of digital accounting and cloud accounting, my own personal favorite is Xero, it allows you to do that. As money comes into your account, or you raise invoices to your clients, you can actually mark them and decide which project, which category, which area you want to mark them accordingly. Likewise with the costs. When you spend money, you can decide against which project category, which product category, which service category, which project category, whatever your division is, you want to allocate those resources as well. What that means that when you run off a conventional profit and loss account or a cash flow forecast, you can break it down into those individual streams. Now, in future videos, I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into that here. I want to introduce the concept of tracking by projects, tracking by products, tracking by different services here, gives you much more useful information than looking at things in aggregate. Looking at things in aggregate hide the pluses and it disguises the minuses as well. We don't want that to happen in your business. Also, I have to make mention here on Numbers Learner Hill, our sister company. We have a powerful community and a powerful software package here where you can actually plan and forecast by those different categories. But that's for another day. Folks, I hope you found this video useful. If you can, I'd love it if you could share with those who you feel would benefit. And for now, check out the show notes for a link to further resources that helps you understand more about the idea about planning by project, cloud accounting, and a free guide that we're offering as well. Until next time, think about the categories that you have in your business. How would you subdivide that?